Welcome to What's Now, a show where we highlight what is trending, what you need to know, and everything that people are talking about. Whether it's new products, new research, we've got it for you. On today's show, though, we are going to be focusing on a special for Earth Day, also DIY hair care, VA healthcare, and much more. Up first, though, people are returning to work. What do you need to do to make sure that it's safe, clean, and healthy? Well, here's more.
Employees are ready to go back to the office, and is your workspace ready to protect them? Well, 43% of American workers believe that their office hygiene protocols could be better enforced. Here to talk all about that today is Dr. Lisa Ackerley, Director of Medical and Scientific Engagement in Hygiene at Reckitt Lysol Pro Solutions. Dr. Ackerley, thank you so much for being here.
You're very welcome. Thank you for inviting me.
Let's just start out discussing hygiene theater. What is that, and why do employers need to stop doing it?
Well, it's a term that we use for where people sort of got into a bit of a panic, particularly early on in the pandemic, and thought that if they sprayed everything everywhere, absolutely indiscriminately, then they were going to sort of knock COVID on the head. And actually, that couldn't really be further from the truth. And it's a terrible waste of chemicals, apart from anything else. And it gives people a false sense of security. So really what we want to do is sort of wind it all back and think about where can we actually target the hygiene that we need to operate. So what things do we need to actually hit with the disinfectants rather than just trying to do everything? And so this approach is really important, and it's called targeted hygiene, and it's totally different to hygiene theatre. So what we're doing here is we're actually really following effectively the journey of the germ. So how can the germ get from a surface to somebody's body and cause them to be ill? And the route of infection via the hands is for the hands to get contaminated and then to touch your eyes or your nose or your mouth. And that's how the virus can get into the body in that route. I mean, obviously, if someone sneezes or coughs all over you, that's another route as well. So knowing that, what we then do is we work out which things could be touched most by most people and when would they be touched. And so we can then intervene in really very precise moments to stop that journey of the germ. So, for example, at the beginning of the day, there'll be lots of people going through the reception area, and that means that the escalators, the elevator buttons, and the handrails and the door handles all become more contaminated at that point. Meaning that if someone has got the virus on their hands and leave it on a door handle, then other people can end up picking it up and then transferring it onto either to another surface or to themselves. So we're trying to break the chain of infection through disinfection at key moments on key things and in the right way. So that's really what Lysol Pro Solutions is all about, is trying to identify the key moments for disinfection so that we can apply measures in a targeted approach. And then in addition to that, what we're also doing is we're thinking about how can we empower the employee. And we know that people would be quite happy if they could actually clean their own desk area. So that means giving them disinfectant wipes so that when they get to their desks, if they have picked anything up on the way, any germs on their fingers, then they can sanitize their hands, and then they can also sanitize their workstation so that they can sit there in the confidence that they know they're in a nice, clean environment. And even if they do touch their face, their hands are clean and their desks are clean, because we know that people touch their faces an awful lot, around 23 times an hour. And we want to try and break that chain of infection between the dirty hands and the face.
And where can we get more information about everything you've talked about today? It's been so informative.
Thank you. I'm sorry, I didn't quite hear your question. If we could just have that again.
Where can we get more information?
Oh, I'm sorry. You can get more information from lysolprosolutions.com, and that's really where you can get help to get those protocols ready and to help to empower your employees.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Ackerley, for joining us today. Really appreciate your time in explaining this to us and helping employees and employers feel safe at work. So thank you.
Thank you very much.